So a lot of people messaged us after Battery Day and said, "You missed it, Zach and Jesse. Check out this slide. Don't you see? Tesla's new battery cell is going to be able to charge even faster. Super duper supercharging. Here we come."
Well, not so fast.
What? It's supercharging, guys. You missed it.
No. Let's read the fine print. It's supercharge time increase. So this chart shows that the new 46 diameter cell actually has a slight time increase, a much lower increase than if they had not had the tabless technology in the cell, but it's actually going to take just a little bit longer to supercharge.
It's a new amazing cell. Why would it take longer to supercharge?
So, I mean, like they were saying in the presentation, you can't make a bigger cell without increasing charge time. The reason for this is you make the jelly roll longer. So the tabless technology allows you to charge it at roughly the same rate. But if they didn't do that, it would take a much, much longer time to charge these batteries, which means that they wouldn't be able to supercharge, which means that, I don't know, these would be less attractive electric cars that these batteries were in.
So you're basically saying this was said so fast at Battery Day that when they put up the slide, it looked like, if you're looking at it quickly, that like this was the old supercharging time and this was the new one. That's not what that said.
Exactly.
But the good news is that with some of Tesla's other improvements, like a reduced vehicle weight due to the new higher energy density batteries, we could actually be looking at faster charging speeds, probably in the 15 to 25% range. Now, that's not, double, triple, quadruple speeds.
Well, and we're not putting more electricity into the batteries. It's just that you're going to be able to travel longer with the same amount of energy. So if we're thinking about the difference between a Model 3 and a Model X, charging at the same power, the same kilowattage, the Model 3 is going to be able to travel further than the Model X with the same amount of kilowatt hours.
So even if it's a moderate increase of like 15 to 25% more range, while that might not seem mind-blowing, if you're already charging at version 3 superchargers at, say, 1,000 miles an hour, being able to add an additional 150 to 250 miles an hour is awesome.
Right. And also having that bigger battery means that you don't need to charge it to a higher state of charge, which means that both you're going to increase the life of the battery, and it means you can keep a higher power for longer, which means that you could be charging it even faster if you think about it that way. Now, whether that was factored into that slide, I don't know. That's kind of where the conjecture comes in.
But was there something we actually missed at Battery Day?
No, of course not. We didn't miss anything. It was so well laid out. It was everything we saw is what you get.
Yes, but one of the things that may have driven down the stock price after Battery Day was that many of us were expecting to hear about Tesla's new million-mile battery.
Right. In fact, we did a poll about this, and you can see the results right there. Most people thought that there was going to be a million-mile battery announced.
But did we hear that?
No.
Or did we?
What?
Well, let's remember, the formula for determining whether you have a million-mile battery, or the battery life, is the range times the number of cycles. So currently, a long-range Model 3 has a range of about 300 miles, and it has about 1,500 cycles. And this is from Elon's tweet a while back.
And so that means that you have a lifetime of the battery of 450,000 miles.
So what do we need to get to a million-mile battery?
550,000 more miles.
So we have this new bigger cell about which Elon says
the power-to-weight ratio is actually better than the smaller cell with halves.
Then we have these improvements, like the new anode with elastic ion-conducting polymer-coated silicon to increase range by 20%, along with better cathode material and new cell vehicle integration to give us a 54% range increase. So now we have 54% times our original 300-mile range, which gives us
462 miles.
So let's plug that in and see what we get. 462 miles times the 1,500 cycles gives us
693,000 mile battery. That's not a million miles.
Not yet. But let's go back to that anode. There's a problem that Tesla seems to have solved with the expanding silicon by coating it with elastic ion conducting polymer. So this may be the key to the rest of the formula, because remember that what is one of the causes of the degraded battery life in a lithium-ion cell?
It's the silicon graphite anode, after getting charged and discharged over and over, develops dendrites, and then the silicon crystal breaks.
But what if this improves that process by, say, 47%?
I didn't remember seeing 47% in the slide.
I'm just conjecturing here, but if we can improve the cycles from 1,500 to 2,200, which is a 47% increase, then we get this formula. 462 miles of range times 2,200 cycles equals
1,000,000 miles.
And the reason I think we could maybe conjecture this is when we went from the Model X battery, right, the 18650 cells, which had a cycle life of about 800 cycles, to the Model 3, which has 1,500 cycles, that's the 2170 battery, we almost doubled the cycle life.
And you're saying all we need is 47%, and that might have been able to do that with this new cell technology, especially with the anode. Yeah, I mean, it's conceivable.
And now you might be asking, well, why didn't they just announce it then?
Well, that definitely brings us back to the Osborne effect. Let's imagine for a minute that Elon got out on stage and he went, "Hey, everybody, we've got 1,000,000-mile batteries. Isn't this great, everyone? You are going to be able to drive a car with a 1,000,000-mile battery. It's going to be awesome, and it's also going to be available in 3 years."
Wait, what? When's it?
Everyone, yeah, exactly. What would happen? Everyone would go, "Oh, I'm not going to buy a Tesla for 3 years because that's when the good stuff is going to happen."
So that could be one reason why he didn't announce it, or maybe they have to test it more. I mean, you know, a 1,000,000-mile battery has to go through at least a few months of testing to get those numbers. And the other reason is there was no need to tell you about a 1,000,000-mile battery because they already told you about all this other stuff. In fact, they didn't need to tell you about anything on Battery Day. Battery Day, for me, was largely for two reasons. It was to lock down battery supplies with their suppliers, and it was to recruit more intelligent people to Tesla.
Hello, sir. Is this the bursar's office? I've got something for you.
Okay, what do you have?
I've got my 8 credits from Battery Day. I'm ready to graduate. Thank you.
What are you talking about? No.
I took
we
my
don't
battery.
offer this.
I took my Battery Day online course, and I took all the tests afterwards. And here you go. I learned a lot about batteries.
We don't accept credits from other schools.
Tesla University? What is accredited?
Yeah, but we don't accept credit. This is a college. Don't you know how college works? So if you want to get your friend off your back who's like, "Battery Day, you missed it," you can send them this clip, and hopefully they'll stop screaming at you.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching Now You Know Clips.
You can watch full episodes of Tesla Time News on Mondays and in-depths on Fridays. Just click the link down below to head over to the Now You Know channel.